Welcome to the State of Wyoming Subject Matter Minute, where we cover a wide variety of subjects related to State of Wyoming employment. This information is for you and me, the state employee. From hidden benefits to systems and processes, we'll make your job easier by giving you the lowdown, the how-to, and hopefully entertain you a bit along the way. And now, today's Subject Matter Minute.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Subject Matter Minute. I'm Matt Nagy. Thanks for joining me. So if this is your first time here, shame on you. No, not really. But if it is your first time here, I put down in the show notes a link to a playlist that has all the previous episodes. So go check them out. You can get all caught up. All right, so a brief mention of something related to one of the last regular episodes that I did. It was about air ambulances in Wyoming. I believe it was episode 34. I got several emails from folks that said that they were paying for plans with either an air ambulance company or a hospital that would cover them if they needed those services. Well, just so you know, the legislature passed a law that no longer allows plans like this. So stop paying, or at least go check it out. Okay, I was going to treat that one person who despises when I talk about personal stuff to some new stuff today, but then the episode got pretty long, so I guess I'll spare that person and we'll have to do it next time. Okay, let's get to it. Did you know that there are 16 types of leave available to State of Wyoming employees? Okay, I briefly covered the two major ones in an earlier episode, episode 12, the full benefits package, but I haven't covered the other 14. So today, let's talk about leave. So the two major types of leave are vacation and sick leave. Since there's so many more to cover, I'm going to leave those to episode 12. Okay, let's cover the other 14 as quickly as possible. Now on that, if you need any more details on them, you can find all the information in chapter 6 of the personnel rules. The first one is a bit timely, although it's been a little while now, but when my grandpa died, I was able to use my 5 days of bereavement leave to go down to Georgia and go to the funeral and deal with all the stuff that needed to be dealt with. So that's 5 days of bereavement leave. That's the first one. The next type of leave is holiday leave. Full-time employees are given 8 hours for certain holidays. The holidays are New Year's, Martin Luther King Jr., President's Day, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. Now we get a day for each holiday. Unfortunately, we are not as lucky as those at the university who have this fabulous Christmas break. We get 1 day, but we'll take it. Next is exempt paid time off. So if any employee exempt from overtime is required to work on a holiday, they are given an hour and a half for every hour that they worked in comp time. You know, a little thank you for taking one for the team and working on the holiday. Next is parental leave. Okay, now I actually do cover this in full in episode 31, so check it out. But what it says in short is that employees may, with agency head approval, take accrued sick leave, comp time, vacation leave, or leave without pay beyond the time allowed for the Family Medical and Leave Act for purposes associated with the birth or adoption of a child. But go back to that episode if you need more information on that. All right, voting leave. We're giving 1 hour to go vote, so do it. All right, court leave. Now this one is interesting to me because I'm currently actually in a jury pool, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to serve because I didn't know if we got paid, right? Well, turns out we do, okay? If you're called for jury duty or as a witness to the court, you are granted leave with pay, okay? It says you need to provide written documentation of the obligation, but we get paid, so that's cool. And now I kind of wish I could serve, but I'm not getting any more calls, naturally, right? All right, now here's one for those who have an interest in serving the state in a different capacity. Legislative leave. If you were elected to the legislature, you have to take time served in that position as leave without pay. However, you do get compensated for performing those duties from the legislative branch, okay? And on the bright side, you get to keep your job. Okay, let's talk about educational leave. This one is fascinating. I kind of doubt this ever happens or extremely rarely, but you actually get leave for up to 24 months for job-related training or education. Okay. Now, of course, this is up to the agency head, but believe it or not, the rules are open to it either being paid or unpaid. So if you can find a convincing reason to get some training and you have the best agency head in the world, you could take up to 2 years to get that training. Next is administrative leave. This is used for several things. First of all, it says an agency head may grant an employee administrative leave with pay to participate in meetings, seminars, hearings, examinations, and employee organization meetings. I don't even know what some of those things are, but for any other purposes, you need to get the governor's permission. Okay. Now, this is also the type of leave that the governor gives out for local celebrations like Cheyenne Day, and we recently got one for statehood day or state birthday, whatever it was. Okay, so those types of things, whether anything the governor deems necessary. Okay, now probably one of the most popular ones is the day after Thanksgiving. They give us that administrative day that we can use that day or really any time in that year, but that's a popular one. That's administrative leave. Okay, personal leave. This one's up to the agency head's discretion as well. They can give up to 2 days or 16 hours of personal leave. Now, there's kind of a specific list of things that it can be given for. Not kind of, it's very specific. Employee recognition programs, participating in department wellness initiatives, merit incentive programs, team-based recognition, project completion type stuff, to volunteer, family departing or returning from active duty military service, and to attend military funerals. Okay. Now, some of these things have to have prior approval from Human Resources Division, so look closer if you want to set something up. Also, volunteering has some rules associated with it, so check those out. All right, there are also some prohibited activities as far as personal leave goes. You can't use it for birthdays, early release for holidays, and undocumented performance. So if you do one of the merit things, you need to have documentation in order to get personal leave for it. Next is military leave. I'm just going to send you to the statute for that. Okay, what it says in the rules is that it shall be granted in accordance with Wyoming Statute 19-11-108. Okay, so go check that out if you need to. Next is leave without pay. This type of leave is granted at the discretion of the agency head. Okay, this can basically be used for anything that the agency head warrants, but there's some specific uses that it is associated with. So if you're injured on the job and receive workers' comp, you can use leave without pay. An employee on military leave is entitled to leave without pay. And you can use leave without pay when all other leave has been exhausted with permission for medical reasons. Okay. Now, please note that for everything besides legislative pay, you have to use all accrued comp time, vacation, or any other leave before you can use leave without pay. Okay. Now, the governor may furlough employees due to a lack of work or funding, as we know. An employee who is furloughed for lack of funding is actually on leave without pay. Next is administrative review leave. Okay, this is typically not good leave, but it's not always bad. Okay, this is leave you get placed on for up to 30 days. This traditionally happens when you've been charged with or are under investigation for a crime, or allegations of misconduct have been made, or you fail a fitness for duty evaluation, or finally, you need to be removed from the workplace because you are a witness or a complainant in an investigation. Okay. All right. And finally, FMLA. This is the final type of leave. It's an episode unto itself for sure, but suffice it to say, this federal act entitles eligible employees to take unpaid, job-protected leave for specified family and medical reasons, and they get to keep their health benefits. Okay. Now, I'll probably do an episode on that in the future, but I did put some information down on the show notes, and we did a very detailed video back in 2018, so you can watch that if you need more information on that. Now, I wasn't going to mention COVID-19 in this episode. However, there are a couple new types of leave that have been created because of it. The Emergency Paid Sick Leave Act, or EPSLA, provides up to 80 hours of paid sick leave for employees for 6 qualifying reasons related to COVID-19. So sick leave on top of your old sick leave, okay? And the Emergency Family and Medical Leave Expansion Act, EFMLEA, expands the Federal Family and Medical Leave Act, FMLA, to provide leave for employees who are unable to work as a result of having to care for children who are not in school or daycare due to COVID-19. Now, hopefully some of you have actually used that or are using it right now, because I'm sure that's come into play for a lot of people. All right, that was long. I'm sorry it was so long, so much for the subject matter minute, right? But we do have 16 types of leave, so it takes a little while to go over. All right, thanks for hanging in there. I'll see you next time on the Subject Matter Minute.
You have been watching the Subject Matter Minute with Matt Nagy. Please help us out by subscribing. And join us next month when we'll cover another topic of interest for all State of Wyoming employees. Again, thank you for joining us on the Subject Matter Minute.